Ghostrunner offers superb, fast-paced, violent combat that mixes in parkour and skill-based elements, and even though that sounds simple, it somehow has an identity crisis at times, as not only is the main goal of the game to swiftly take down enemies, navigate through various difficult parkour, but also there's puzzling in certain areas, and they completely take away your ability to do certain skills, like dashing for instance, and offer such limited parkour with just regular jumping and not much else depending on these levels. Today's video is just going to be on the first part of the game. Well, I think it's more the halfway point, but up until the first boss. And so it's going to be 8 or so levels covered. And yeah, we can just hop into it. The first level obviously is just a tutorial level, gets you used to the controls, allows you to customize to how you want to play. You know, make sure your graphics are up, your frames are up, and your controls fit your needs, you know, accessibility options and everything like that. Not too hard of a level. You just fight the first enemy, the keys, who just have like a regular ass pistol. They're really boring, but like it's the grunt. All right. The grunt doesn't matter. He's bald too. So like, fuck this guy. Obviously not an important enemy, but an enemy that's going to be in every single level. So you get what you get. The second level honestly doesn't improve much more, but it does give you more range of your combat and just kind of leave you to your own devices and plays more of a story because you go and you find this mysterious voice that's talking in your head, and he takes you to the cyber void, which is where I think the game really struggles to actually maintain its original focus. Instead of the fast-paced combat, you have very slow parkour and puzzling. A lot of it is simply you just running and jumping. You can't dash in the cyber void, and there's nothing to grapple onto or do anything cool. Rarely is there even any wall running. But you go ahead and do this bullshit, and you unlock certain skills through doing this, and in this case, you get this guy in your head so that you have more of a mission objective for the story. Now that the first 2 levels are out of the way, though, I do feel like the game does start to pick up, and you get more enemy-focused combat, so there'll be a bunch of enemies around, and they also introduce shields to the game. So basically, there's an orb that puts shields on the enemies, making them invincible. So you have to go deep into the enemy territory, kill the shield, and then kill everyone, which adds a whole new layer that you didn't see in the first 2 levels. It's a pretty long level with a lot of parkour, and you have to go to the cyber void, but you do unlock the blink skill, which is one of 4 skills, and it's probably my favorite one. It allows you to do an invincibility dash to instantly kill somebody, which you can chain through different skill unlocks later, and can also be used to take down multiple enemies at once if they line up, which can also get buffed through skill points later. This is one of my favorite levels. I think early game it has good levels, and maybe late game it kind of suffers later, so we'll get to that. Level 4 is a good level. It is a level that you should be able to beat in sub 10 minutes, and it's just kind of packed with combat along with hazardous parkour. So there's a lot of stuff in the parkour that kills you other than you just missing something. You actually have to dodge these like laser things that'll just obliterate you. And a new enemy is introduced, the machine gunner, and this guy is a pretty difficult enemy to get the hang of because you can't parry his shot. You can't even usually dodge out of the way because he shoots a burst of bullets. So you really have to get spacing between you and him, move out of the way, find cover, just anything you can do, and then he will run out of bullets and have to reload, and that's when you just hop in and kill him. He's a cool enemy, but he's pretty basic, so it kind of just works out. Level 5 is honestly one of my favorite levels because it's a very long level that's just packed full of shit. It's a 30-minute level, for me at least, and it introduces a new power-up that allows you to slow down time, which isn't just for parkour because when you first get it, you have to go into these fans that were moving too fast, so you have to slow time, go between the fans, but it's also used in combat. There's a couple times where you use it and then use it to dodge, like the machine gunners. You see all their bullets come at you, but it's really slow. So you jump around and kill them, but it does run out pretty quick sometimes. So you do have to like be quick about it, even though time is slow. I like it. It adds a new depth and really just a whole new factor because it's not like a skill or anything. You just find it depending on the level design. There's also a new enemy, and it is the Slugger. And this is the first melee enemy. And what he does is he basically jumps at you and slams down. And if he hits you at all, you're dead, just like a bullet. And he jumps like really far too. So you can get caught accurate if you don't see these guys immediately. And the easiest way to take him down is just to be patient, which can be hard when there's a machine gunner just lighting the fuck out of you, like you're playing Grand Theft Auto or some bullshit. There's just so many bullets coming at you while this guy's also launching at you. Can be a deadly combo, but not a hard enemy on his own. The level to me is just so good because it has good parkour where it's actually difficult, and not the difficult where you'll fall, but the hazardous difficult where there's areas that if you touch, you die. Good new enemy that I think is balanced and not too tedious to where it gets annoying, and good design where it sets up the machine gunners to actually make the level have difficult areas, along with the new power-ups that are just add new depth for more fun. Story-wise, this level's kind of boring. You just follow the climbers, which is with Zoe, who are like survivors that try to follow with the uproar and shit. I don't really care about the story, I'll be real. But that's basically what you just follow this whole time. This level does also include a puzzle section, but it's actually a rather enjoyable puzzle section where you have to figure out how to connect these lines in order to open doors instead of just running around without your dash and all the cool wall running just to get on platforms. So this puzzling isn't bad, but once again, it just doesn't feel like it fits in this game. Like, this isn't fucking Portal. This is a game where you have really fast gameplay of wall running, dashing, using these skills, blocking bullets, you know, to quickly take down enemies with one fail swing of your sword. You're not taking your time doing things, so sitting around doing a puzzle just doesn't fit with the whole atmosphere and gameplay style. I don't get it. The next level, level 6, is an alright level. I don't hate it too much. It does give you a cool ability and whatnot, but the thing I don't like about it a lot is the new enemy, which is called the Enforcer, and the Enforcer is so stupid to me and doesn't really work with the game because he has a giant shield in front of him and you can only kill him then from the top and the back. So sometimes I'll literally sit there running around him while he misses me, just trying to hit him in the back. It's so fucking dumb. I once again don't really think it fits into the game of it being really fast combat because he'll just keep turning sometimes and it can be a bitch to get behind him and kill him. So for me, don't like the enemy. He's not too enjoyable as some of the others are, especially later, but it's whatever. He's not overpowered or anything to where it's unfun. He's just kind of annoying. I just wish they could have done something more fun rather than use that. The new ability I mentioned is called the Tempest, and it basically shoots like the Force from Star Wars out at people and can reflect bullets and whatnot. It's all right. I think there's a nutty combo where you can use the skill that allows you to instantly recharge if you take out 2 enemies or more, but I didn't really fuck with it because I don't find the Tempest too fun. I like just using the blink over it, but it's definitely a overpowered strategy if you can get that to work out because there's definitely spots where you can take out 2 enemies a lot. But like, I don't want to roleplay Star Wars. Like, I know you have a sword, but that's not a lightsaber, and if you want to play one of those games, just go play Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor. Actually, just play Jedi Survivor, fuck Fallen Order. Look up a fucking lore guide or something. You don't want to play that game, trust. The next level is honestly one I really enjoy because it combines hazardous parkour and combat with just against the single pistol guys. It's still pretty fun. There's these moving platforms that will kill you if you touch them, so you have to jump between them using the grappling and shit while also being shot at by these pistol guys who you need to quickly take down because there's quite a few of them. It also introduces a whole new enemy called the Mech, and the Mech is probably one of my favorite enemies in the game because he's so punishing. It shoots a giant like shotgun laser blast at you that can take up so much of your screen that it's just fucked to dodge. When you're running right at it, really the only strat to dodge is to wait for it to pretty much shoot you in the face before you just slide under it and kill it. It can be very difficult, especially if you're in the air. I don't even think you can move around enough to dodge it unless you already have so much speed to carry your momentum out of its like range. It's not like a tedious boss like the Enforcer, but it is a difficult boss, and I like it because it's designed in a way that you have to be precise and not make any mistakes or you're just fucking dead because that thing rips that laser blast shotgun thing. I don't even know what it is. It also has no cyber void and had a part of parkour that I was stuck on for way too fucking long. I'll probably show me trying to do it in the video, but like fucking hell, it was rough. It took me 15 minutes to do this level, and if you got through the parkour on like at least your 5th try, it would probably take you 10 minutes. Like, it took me way too long to get through this level because of that fucking parkour kept fucking me up. And that takes us to the final level of the video, level 8. The first boss fight inside Ghostrunner, and one that I wasn't expecting because I actually didn't even know if this game had boss fights or not. I didn't look at anything, I just played the game. And I actually really enjoyed this fight. It's called the T073M, which Tom for short. Alright, don't fucking say the whole name, just say Tom. I know what you're talking about. And it is basically a giant tower climb that shoots lasers out of all sides that you have to time to dodge. So it's literally just parkour. There's no real combat. Basically, you hit him 3 times and he dies, but you have to hit these certain parts that you have to parkour all the way up to using grappling, wall riding, jumping, sliding, all that cool shit. I think it's a very good way to do like a parkour boss to where there's just so many hazards that it looks overwhelming. The replayability of this boss probably isn't too great, but it's your first time just learning all the parkour, and like each save point is pretty rough. There were some spots I do 10 times and some spots I just did once. It really varies, but overall I really enjoyed this fight. It's a pretty cool one. Especially since I have finished the game at this point and I know what bosses come later. Tom is definitely my favorite. I can say that for sure. And that pretty much just concludes my first impressions of this game. I really was enjoying it at this point of the game, I don't want to spoil how I feel about it later, but just the first 8 levels of the game really had me hooked. I love the different combat variation, but depending on which enemies you had to fight. It doesn't feel too stacked where you just kind of mindlessly go at it. You do want to kind of pick how you want to approach it using parkour and what enemies you actually want to take out first. Usually you take out the machine gunner first, because if you're trying to fight someone else and he's sending a barrage of bullets just flying at your ass, you're done for. And generally the fast-paced parkour where it can lead to your death by accidentally jumping to the wrong spot is also cool. The only ones I don't really like is when there's nothing really going on and you're just kind of wall running around. It seems like they kind of just push the story in those points. They'll just have you talking to the fucking schizophrenic voice in your head until like something comes up where you fight enemies or something. Those points I don't really like. I wish they could just do the story in a better way, but that's just kind of how the game's made. I can't really hate it, you know, it's just a game, but I wish the story was done in a more interesting way to where I would actually pay attention and not just try to speed through those boring ass areas as fast as possible. Also, fuck the cyber void. Enough rambling though. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to take care till the next upload. Probably still going to be Ghostrunner. Could be Dark Souls 2. I don't know. We will see. Take care.